I am live right now, so I don't know if you've heard the beginning of this video or not. But if you're not, I was just saying good morning, everyone, and happy Sunday. Hope you're having a great weekend. And I was just talking about the weather in Southern California. It's a wonderful weather this weekend. It was cloudy and chilly, and I think we stopped getting rain, honestly, in Southern California. Just this is our rain, right? Just the chilly, overcast weather. Okay, so first of all, I would like to welcome all of you to this live video. And if you are watching it on a replay, again, welcome to all of you. If this is your first time to watch any of my videos, special welcome and thanks to you. And I would highly recommend that you subscribe to the channel and join our community. There are a lot of tips, selling and buying tips that I offer, so feel free to chime in and watch all the videos on this channel. Another thing is that if you've been watching for a while and you know all the content that I offer and you like it and you think it's good for somebody that you know, please share it with your family, friends, or contacts. They will thank you for it. If anyone that you know of that is looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, please share the channel with them. The way you do that is if you go up and all the way to the top right corner, there are 3 dots, okay, vertical dots. Click on them. It's gonna say share. So click on share and then copy link, and this is how you share the whole channel to somebody. Of course, you can send them a video if you'd like to, but this is the way you share a channel to somebody. Another thing I want to mention is that on the top, you will see that there is home, videos, playlist, and community. So if you go a little bit on the community tab, go a little bit down, there was a poll that I did I think a couple of weeks ago, and I got some votes in it about your interest, about your plans for real estate. What are you planning to do this year? Are you planning to buy or sell? And some of you voted. Thank you for the vote, but I won't be able to help you unless you reach out to me. So call me today. Let's just have a free consultation. There's no obligation, guys. There's no obligation. It's just a consultation to know where you're at. What are your plans? What can you do? What can't you do? Speak to a specialist. If you're planning to sell, truly, this is a prime time. We are still in seller's market, and this is a prime time for you. So wonderful time for you to sell. Reach out to me. Let's punch in some numbers and see, if it makes sense or not. And people sell for different reasons. Could be upgrading, downgrading, divorce, marriage, moving out of state. Some people just want to cash out because the equity is high. Some people want a home office, right? Many reasons for people to sell. And by the way, I do have a special offer for you if you would like to sell your home until the end of June. So total commission is 4% instead of 5 or 6, and you will see that offer also on the community tab. And if you're planning to buy, you will never be able to know if you can qualify to buy or not unless you speak to a specialist. And I don't know if you attended the live video last week on Wednesday. It was with Eric Ilya, and he's with home financing, and he covered a lot of grounds about home financing and about getting pre-approved. And if you watch that video, let me know in the comment that you watch it. And I will put the link after this live video. If you haven't watched it, then I would highly recommend that you watch it. But these are my points to you. And another thing is that, especially for buyers, do not get fixated on the interest rate. I know a lot of people are freaking out because of the interest rates going up. Guess what? Don't get fixated on it. Because what you care about as a buyer is a monthly payment. Interest rate is one element, but it does not define your monthly payment. There are other factors. That's why you need to speak to a specialist. And there are some workarounds that can help lower your monthly payment, and they will be able to help you with that, okay? So this is my advice to you. Reach out to me. Below this video as well, there is my social links, all my social links. If you click on it, you will see the calendar, my online calendar. Click on it and book some consultation time with me, whether you want to buy or sell your home. All right, so just quickly want to introduce myself. My name is Niveen. I'm with Coldwell Banker, and I'm a full-time real estate agent in Southern California. So I'm located in Southern California. So I work in the 4 major counties I work in LA County, Orange County, San Bernardino, and Riverside counties, and I do them by the map, right? So I work in the 4 major counties, but still, I mean, if you are out of state, if you're out of California, and you still need help with buying or selling, reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to refer you to one of our network, and he will be able to help you with your needs. Write me your name and where you're watching from. If you are outside of US, what country? If you're in US, what state? If you're in California, what city? Let me know your name and where you're watching from. Okay, so last week we spoke about seller's disclosures, and how many of you have watched the first part of seller's disclosure when you talked about the TDS? We talked about the death on the property, if you remember that. So how many of you, let me know in the comments if you've watched part 1, and if you haven't, I will also put the links for you to watch it. And I mentioned that there are a couple of very important disclosures called the TDS and the SPQ. The TDS is a transfer disclosure statement, and the SPQ is a seller property questionnaire. This is the one that we're gonna go through today. And basically, these are very important disclosures that you as a seller will have to fill out, and we will give to the buyer. And as a buyer, it's really important for you to read them, learn how to read them, and understand what the property is. You may like what's in it, and you may not like what's in it. So it's a quick thing for you to know if you're going to continue in this transaction or not. And as a seller, I mean, the rule of the thumb is to disclose. So if you're in doubt, disclose. Always remember that. If you are in doubt, disclose. And it's better for you to disclose the earlier to disclose the better, because if the buyer is not interested and he decided to get out of the transaction, then it's better for you to know that. You know, the earlier the better, right? Okay, so we covered a lot of things in the SPQ, and I'm not gonna go through the whole the TDS last week. This week, I'm not gonna go through the whole SPQ, which is the seller property questionnaire. And as it says, it's property questionnaire, so it's questions about the property, right? It's 4 pages, but I'm gonna go through the main headlines for you to understand. One of the major things, I know that you probably can't see it, but one of the major things on the top part of it, it says that we, as agents, we don't have the capacity to explain it to a seller. So if you have questions about it, you will need to go to a real estate attorney. Okay, that's one thing that I have to always disclose to you, and you know, this is a limitation for us. We're not obligated to do that. We can't do it. We don't have the capacity to do it. All right, because again, I mean, this was put by attorneys, right, from the board. So for you to have questions about it, you will need to go to an attorney to explain it to you. Okay. Another thing that it mentions, which is really important, the purpose of this SPQ for you as a seller and a buyer, to tell the buyer, so for you as a seller, to tell the buyer about known material or significant items affecting the value or desirability of the property, and help to eliminate misunderstandings about the condition of the property. Okay, so here's something. As a seller, you may not see some of the things. You may think that, you know, it's trivial, you know, really not important, or something small. This is your perception. Remember, this is your opinion, your perception, but it may not be the same for the buyer. So again, it's recommended to disclose, because what's important to you may not be important to the buyer, and what's not important to you as a seller may be important to the buyer. So always disclose, and that's what it's saying here. And for the buyer, again, the purpose of it is to give you more information about unknown material or significant items affecting the value or desirability of the property, and help you to eliminate misunderstandings about the condition of the property. So it is the same sentence for both. That's the purpose of the SPQ. Now, the questions in here are basically, are you seller aware of? And then you check yes or no. Okay, so it has a lot of things, and I'm gonna go through and each headline and start by a headline, and then it has items underneath each headline, but I'm not gonna go through it all again. So one of the things is asking, remember when I talked about the death, it is in the SPQ. So is it yes or no within the last 3 years, the death of an occupant of the property upon the property, right? And I mentioned that if there's a death has to be mentioned in the past 3 years. The cause of the death, if you are asked about it, be truthful, be honest, tell the truth, tell why there's what's the cause of the death, except for HIV. So HIV is the only thing that you're not obligated to say the reason. Okay. If there is an order from a government health official identifying the property as being contaminated by meth, remember the meth labs that I talked about last week? Not sure if you remember that. But meth labs are definitely, they do a stigma, they stigmatize the property. So if there is an official government health, form or order about that, you need to mention that. So yes or no, that will be the answer. The release of an illegal controlled substance. Is there any substances in the property that you know about? Is the property located or adjacent to an industrial use zone? Yes or no? Is it close to an industrial zone? Because that can cause health issues for the occupant, right? For the new buyer. Whether the property is affected by nuisance, right, of the industrial zone. And whether the property is a condominium or a PUD. Okay, so this is the first thing. Now, the second page, and there are, in the same topic, they also talking about the insurance claims. Any insurance claims that you know of? Yes or no? Matters affecting the title of the property. The title of the property, that's the ownership of the property. And the title company will be able to tell you that. So sometimes the title is what we call cloudy. So there is a cloudness on the title, and sometimes title companies can help you to clear that cloudness on the title. So it's asking you if there's any issue with that. Any material facts or defects of the property, plumbing fixtures, any issues about the plumbing fixtures, okay? So this is one, I want to say like one category of questions. The second questions is repairs and alterations. So it's asking, do you know of any alterations, modifications, replacements, improvements, remodeling, anything that you've done in the property before? Anything that's affecting also the home warranty claims? Yes or no? And ongoing or recurring maintenance, say for example that you are doing some current maintenance in the house, then you have to mention that, right? Say yes, there is. And there's an explanation. So down there's a couple of lines that you can explain what it is. Any part of the property being painted within the past, even if there's a paint, if you painted anything in the property in the past 12 months, right? You need to mention that. And now we're going to go into the structural systems and appliances. So it's asking you if you know of any defects in any of the following. The heating, air conditioning, electrical, plumbing, waste disposal, or septic system. Remember we talked about septic tanks last time, and I said that sometimes, unfortunately, we close deals and the buyer doesn't know that the property has a septic tank. And this is an issue, because if he doesn't know, then he may not, if he didn't know from before and he doesn't want a property with a septic tank, he may not go through with the sale, right? And he finds out after the close of escrow. So this is really important. And the seller should know that. So it's going through all the structural and appliances, including fireplace, chimney, gutters, roof, well, drainage, retaining walls, interior, exterior doors, windows, everything that you know of, right? Any repairs that's happening right now, any structural or issues with these things. Then it goes into the another item, which is disaster relief insurance or civil settlement. Any financial relief of assistance, insurance, or settlement, okay, that you've received about the property. And then it goes into the water-related and mold issues. And I spoke about that last time, and I gave an example. And I said if there is a mold that you are aware of, then you need to mention that. If there was a mold in the house and it got fixed, for example, you got a company and they treated the mold and the issue is gone, you still need to mention that there was an issue of mold. So any problem with infestation of mold or mildew or fungus or spores right? Past or present, you need to mention that. Um, the item after that is about pets, animals, and pests. So past or present pets on or in the property. So even if you have pets, you need to mention that, right? Some people are allergic to pets. So you need to mention if there are pets on the property. Any past or present problems with livestock, wildlife, insects, or pests, or on or in the property. So if you have, like, for example, if you had even an issue with ants, for example, I mean, ants are very common, right? And we talked about mice. So if you have any issues with mice, you had or you have issues with ants or mice, you need to mention that. Just click yes, there is, and you can explain down there. Any treatment or eradication of pests or odors, or repair of damage due to any of the above. So sometimes because mice, they damage a lot of things in the house. They damage the wood. If you have an issue with termite, right? Termite is another big thing that we, most of the houses here in Southern California, they suffer from. And you have to mention that. And if you treat it or not, all right? Then it has another section about the boundaries, access, and property uses by others. Like it's talking about easements and encroachments, okay? So if you have any issues with that, then you need to mention that. The other paragraph, the below one, it says landscaping, pool, and spa. So if you have diseases or infestations affecting trees, plants, or vegetation on or near the property, do you have any issues with that? The operational sprinklers, all the sprinklers on the property, are they working or not? The pool heater and the spa heater, any issues with them? And then it asks us general questions below about the present defects, leaks, cracks, repairs, about the sprinklers, pool, spa, waterfall, pond, stream, drainage. Because remember, all of these issues, what's the problem with them? Water. If there is any problem with them and it starts leaking, then guess what? It's gonna cause issues in the backyard, right? And this may leak into the house. So you always have to mention that. If the property is a condominium or common interest, you'll have to mention that. And then it goes through, a few items about the proposed dues, increases, special assessments, rules changes, anything that you know of, all right? Improvement made by the association. And then we go into the title, ownership liens and legal claims. So any other person or entity on title other than you signing this form, you need to mention that. So if you are not the sole ownership of the property, then you say, yes, there is somebody else. If there are any leases, options, or claims affecting or relating to title, again, it's the ownership of the property. Any liens on the property, you have to mention that. And title company will be able to help you with that, because they will be able to tell if there are liens, if there are any legal claims, issues of the property, then they will be able definitely to go through that. So the one of the things also it mentions is neighbors and neighborhood. Remember we talked about that last week, and we said any nuisance, noise or nuisance, or other problems such as from sources such as, but not limited to, the following: neighbors, traffic, parking congestion, airplanes, trains, light rail, subway, trucks, freeways, and it keeps going on and on and on. So it mentions everything that you can think that may cause a noise for this property. Then you need to mention that. If the property is close to an airport, right, and there are a lot of traffic in the airport, and you hear the planes going up and down, landing or taking off, then you need to mention that. Any past or present disputes or issues with a neighbor which could impact the use and enjoyment of the property. If you have any issues with the neighbors, maybe the neighbor has barking dogs and they keep you awake all night. Anything that's happening with the neighbors, and you need to mention that. Remember, the buyer has the right to know everything about the property. And then it goes into some governmental things that I'm not gonna go through it right now, but basically it's talking about the structure of the house, some of the historical things of the property. So it's all like governmental things. Again, if you know any of it, you have to check it off. So this is basically a sum for the SPQ, the seller property questionnaire. And it's really important, guys, to understand that you as a seller, you're obligated to explain everything to the buyer, to disclose everything to the buyer. Let them decide if you want to go through the sale or not. It's not up to you to decide for them. It's not up to you to say this is important or not. Just disclose it and let them make the decision. This is the SPQ is one of the very important disclosures that you as a seller will fill out along with the TDS, the transfer disclosure statements. There are two disclosures. And these two disclosures describe the property. So there are questions about the property, material facts. And again, me as a listing agent, if I think anything about the property, then I will have to disclose it to the buyer. Even if the seller doesn't disclose it, if I know it, then I have to disclose it. And you as a buyer, these are very important forms that you will receive, and you will have to learn how to read them and what's important for you. So go through all of them, and once you get them, go through all of them and check and see what's the property all about. Is it something that you can live with or not? And we start the negotiation then. So I hope I just gave you an example and an idea about these two disclosures. Again, the seller is to check with the real estate attorney for any questions that they have, but I just went through some of the things that these two forms cover. So I would like to thank you so much for watching, and I will put the links of the part 1 of the TDS below this video, along with the other video, the live video that was last Wednesday with the lender, Eric from Home Financing. And if you need to reach out to me, click on the social links below this in the description box, and you can reserve some time, free consultation time with me, or just give me a call and we'll talk about it. Again, guys, this is a free consultation. You may want to know the equity, how much your house is worth right now, and if you can cash out or not. If you are interested in going overseas or going out of state, right? Some people leave. So if that's the case, then find out. Call me today. I'll be happy to do a free estimate for your property. Just a CMA, comparative market analysis. I do this as a free service. Trust me, you'll be impressed. I do it in a video format. You'll be really, really impressed on how it's done. Some of my clients have received it and they loved it. Whether you want to sell or not, I would highly recommend that you do one. Just know what's your home value right now. And that will open up ideas for you. Share this video with others that are looking to sell their home or buy, and share the whole channel link. And for those of you, again, that voted, don't forget to reach out to me. My number is 909-631-5301. Again, my number is 909-631-5301. Call me today. Let's have a chat. There is no obligation for this chat, just a consultation. It will give you an idea for where you're at. If you are a seller, let's punch in some numbers for you. Let's find out. If this is gonna work for you or not, selling your home and buying a new one. And if you're thinking about buying, again, let the lender do the numbers. Let them find out if this is good for you or not. If you'll be able to buy or not. And guess what? If you're not able to buy right now, then you have a game plan. Then you know what's missing. Do you need more down payment? Do you need to increase your FICO score? Do you need a higher income? Whatever you need, right? So the lender will be able to help you through this. So, all right, well, I would like to thank you everyone so much for watching, and until next time, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.